Hey everyone, back for another YouTube video. Here's why you never should become an engineer with an engineering degree. I've been thinking about this topic a lot, and my engineering career in the course of it, and just the different things I've learned, and how difficult it is to get an engineering degree, how it's become more or less and less valuable than it once was, but can still be a viable option as long as you don't use it to become an engineer. Back in the 70s, or 80s and early 2000s, it was more common. If you had an engineering degree, they said you could basically get any job you wanted, and that it would open certain doors for you. And I think that was true. You could get into finance, you could get into real estate, you could get into Wall Street if they know you're good with numbers, they know you're smart. And I still think nowadays, if you get an engineering degree, that should be your path, because engineering is not valued in our society. Engineering is like a solved game, and nobody understands what it is, and nobody cares. Everyone takes it for granted. Bridges, roads, plumbing, electrical, mechanical, air conditioning, things like that. Everyone just takes it for granted. And really the only thing that has value nowadays is money. So what you want to do is you don't really want to get into an undervalued profession. It's going to be harder for you to establish your worth. People just see you as a necessary evil. Whereas if you get into like a Wall Street profession, you're going to be able to, your value is how much money you make. And it's easy to establish your value. If you know what you're doing, or if you make money for the company, they're going to know your value. In an engineering firm, they're never really going to know what you do, how you do it. They're never going to really know who produces what. It's like a big meat grinder where everybody gets chucked into the wheel, and whatever comes out the other end is the profit, and no one really knows how they got there. So often, if you're a high producer, you're gonna just get more work to do. And if you're a brown noser, or you're socially gifted with the gift of gab, or sales, or even just a positive attitude in the office, that's how you're gonna probably move up. And it's really hard to have a positive attitude when you're the person that's getting dumped on. Everyone's putting, if you're the workhorse producing the sausage, it's going to be hard to have that happy attitude every day. So really in 2025, you don't want to be competing against, every person in the third world with an engineering degree, because, their engineering still valued. It's like a doctor or a lawyer in those countries, because they understand the value of systems. They don't completely take it for granted. Engineering and infrastructure and running water and things like we do in the first world. So that's still a popular degree there, and they're coming over by the boatloads with visa programs and everything else. You're going to be competing against all these people in a profession that's not even valued anyway. So you're just at a race to the bottom with people that have a lower standard of living. Whereas if you take your engineering degree and get into something like Wall Street, or you get into finance or quant trading, or any number of other professions, even real estate or financial advising, or these other things, you're not going to be competing with every person across a global spectrum. You're going to be more competing with talent locally. And those jobs just pay more money because the value is obvious. Money is all, rules all. And in engineering, you're just a commodity. So leave a like, subscribe if you like the content. We're going to be producing, videos on the daily. And I'll see you next time.